So let's start off by creating our first NumPy array. First of all, what you need to do is import NumPy as MP. In any case, if you do not have NumPy installed, you can use conda install or pip install to install the library on your local machine. If you have no fundamental knowledge of Python, you can check out my free Python course. Let's take for example that we've got the list of numbers from 1 to 6. What you can do to initialize your first array from a list is to use numpy.array and put inside the parentheses the list. So A will be initialized as a NumPy array. You can also initialize a two-dimensional array by using numpy.array and inputting a list of lists as input. If we run this code and print A and Z, we can see that our arrays will be exactly with the same elements from the lists. You can also specify the data type that you want an array to have by using the dtype equals argument. So what we do here is initialize an array of type float, so its value in the array will have a floating point. So what are some other ways for creating NumPy arrays? You can use numpy.zeros. This will create an array of zeros which have size 2, meaning 2 elements. You can also use numpy.zeros by using a tuple that specifies the dimension across each axis. So here what we do is use a tuple of 2.2. What this will do is create an array with zeros that have 2 rows and 2 columns. If you want to have ones instead of zeros, you can use the numpy.ones and specify again the shape of the array. You can also use functions like what essentially this does is that it takes the dimensions of the array you input to the function and create an array with only zeros using the same type, using the same shape. And you can have functions like ones likes, empty like, and others, not only zeros like. Also, you can initialize an empty array, which what it will do is input arbitrary values. You can also use empty-full and specify the fill value. So for example, you can specify that you want to fill your array with a value of 99. You specify the shape, the fill value, and boom, you've got an array of shape 3.3, meaning 3 rows and 3 columns, and every cell will contain the value 99. And you can also use numpy.arrange, which will create an array with values from 0 to 89. And you can also use an operation called reshape, which we will see in a future video in more detail, to reshape this array into the dimensions you want. So essentially, this array here is a one-dimensional array with 90 elements. You can call the .reshape function, turn an array. This is a case where an array with 9 values will be turned into a two-dimensional array of 3 values per row. And also a great thing about NumPy is that you can chain events. So you can specify an array using numpy.range from values 0 to 8, and you can call .shape function on it so you can see the shape. Then you can use reshape on the same array, and you can also chain even more by using reshape and then calling shape. You can use dot to do chain function calls or attribute calls in NumPy.